Okay, we're going to do another update on the shop. Things are kind of gloomy here. We got a little bit of snow earlier, but nothing sticking. Oh yes, and there's their neighbor's rooster. Anyhow, enough for that. I got the tractor all ready to go for winter. It's all got the 400-hour maintenance. It's up to 420 hours now. So it's kind of ready for winter. Once winter arrives, I got the shop kind of cleaned up a little bit. And yes, I've been burning wood. This is the first basket that I've brought in this winter. I've got 8 more to go, so I should be plenty warm. So yeah, I got the Nissan pretty much done, I think. It's got a little bit of noise coming out of the motor. I think it's the timing chain is giving me a little bit of grief. I may have to address that sometime, but for now I'm going to drive it. I've only got 150 miles on it or so, and I want to drive it some more before I do any more. And so far it's working pretty good, but I thought I might take you guys on a little ToolBox tour and show you what I got going in my toolboxes, and yeah, get a little bit of content going. Okay, this here's the Vega. This is a 74. For those that don't know, this is a 74 Vega. I picked up it was January 30th, 31st, the day before, the last day of the year. I brought it home, and it was bone stock. It had flat tires. It was all there. The motor was all in place. It was a 4-cylinder automatic car. And I proceeded to install the V8. We got a 350 engine with 350 trans, pretty much stock except for the intake and headers. And yeah, I got it all running and driving. I also did the 5-lug conversion on it. I bought a S10 pickup and put the rear end in it and converted the front spindles to 5-lug with larger front brakes. So mechanically it's in pretty fair shape, and all the lights work. I got license on it. It's pretty much drivable, but it's kind of sad in the body. It's got some rust as well that need to be addressed. There's rust around this windshield. It's horrible. I'm kind of dreading it. I do have a new windshield on order, or should I say it's on back order. It should be here sometime in December. I also have a new gas tank for it that's on back order. It should be here about the middle of January. So I've got parts coming for it, and yeah, I'd like to do something with this body. It's really weathered real bad. I may have a line on a new hatch. This hatch has got a bit of rust. Right here, there's a hole rusted through, and I'm dreading that. Other than that, the hatch is in good shape. The back window's in fair shape. And Also, there's a bit of rust right here, and that is not so bad, but it's dented up right in here on the lip. We've got some body damage. So if I can find, I think I have a line on a new fender. I don't know. But anyhow, that's the latest on the Vega. But anyhow, I thought we'd do a, let me turn on some lights here. I thought we'd do some ToolBox tour. I've got crud on the top, so please don't judge. I'm sure everybody does. Throw their junk on top and clean it out every once in a while. Stuff I really hate getting rid of. There's a lot of that stuff going on. But anyhow, these are most of my automotive tools. Hammers, wrenches, crazy pliers, punch sets, some Torx wrenches, Torx screwdrivers. These are metric, these are standard. More screwdrivers, nut drivers, sockets. These are the metric sockets. They're a mess, I know. Like I said, please don't judge. These are standards. There's willy-nilly everything in here. Some air tools, some electronic crap, grinding stuff. I really need to organize my grinding stuff, and a whole bunch of other junk drills and whatnot. I only work on cars as a hobby, so you know, if I don't have the high-end tools. Zip ties galore, files, all kinds of stuff, clutch alignment tools. I've got a few homemade ones. I can throw a chunk of steel in the lathe and make kind of whatever I need. And a pop rivet gun. Just miscellaneous junk tools. I was cleaning this out earlier. I organized that. This is quite the mess. More mess. Automotive type tools. Anyhow, that's those. And mainly I do most of my work out of this here box. I leave this out, and this does about, I don't know, 75–80% of everything I need. So I'm amazed that I've kept this all in order. It's, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 years old, and they're all there. So, and then I always keep some others handy that are bigger than the set. Then this here is just a workstation. It's got junk, more houseware type junk, some sanding stuff, sandpaper and whatnot. But anyhow, I just wheel that around wherever I need it. And then this here's the machine shop. This is my Machinist box. I got this back in the 70s? No, the 80s, early 80s. Anyhow, I got quite a few things in here. I got end mills. There's some roll thread taps in here. Here's a little tap. Goes down to, I think this is the 440 tap. Little tiny guy. And yeah, these are some parallel bars that I made in college. Stone and all kinds of little things. There's some small chucking reamers. Some edge finders. And of course that. And there's some easy outs. And there's some lathe bits and more end mills, miscellaneous things. I've got quite a selection of end mills. Those that don't know, I am a retired machinist, and I had my own shop, and I used all this stuff in my shop. It was a backyard shop, but a lot of end mills, bigger stuff, some that have been resharpened. I kept these because I kind of thought I could use them on the lathe. You can always put them in the tailstock of the lathe and use end mills. Measuring tools, micrometers, dial, some calipers. Some of these calipers have been, I had a bunch of these tools certified because I had some ISO jobs that I had to certify the tools for. That's what these are. This here's a 12-inch micrometer or 12-inch dial caliper. I got this. This was to tram in the milling machine to get the milling machine dialed in. But I sold the milling machine and I kept that. I don't know why. Cheap Chicago brand snap gauges. And more chucking reamers, bigger ones. I think they go up to inch or inch and an eighth here. Various sizes. And I've got some O-ring port tools. I think I got a complete set in here that's wrapped up. This is a -4. And there's a 12. But yeah, I got all the O-ring port tools, at least one set. I got rid of a bunch of them. Also have a Starrett level, machine level, that I've had for a long time. I use it for leveling machines, but right now the only machine I own is the lathe that needs leveling. There's miscellaneous taps in there. Let's see. Oh, and here's a steel plug gauge set. I've got some stamps. There's 1/4-inch stamps and 3/16 stamps. I also got a chamfer cutter. This is and then there's this. This was also a school project. Little tiny vise. I think it's got a 3-inch opening. But yeah, I made that in college. Kind of a cool project. Usable. I've used it many times. But anyhow, so yeah, I've got another school project over there. I'll show you in a minute. More junk under there. And then over here I've got a Craftsman toolbox with lathe cutters. These are some deburring tools, some carbide inserts, more miscellaneous center finders and thread file. I've had this forever. I love it. This is a great lathe tool. Die holders. And these are the holders for the lathe with some drill bits. And then there's this here, this top box. My nephew painted it up and gave it to me. And it's got quite the mess. It's got all kinds of port tools, BSPP port, that's a 1/2 inch. And that's a 3/4 NPT. All the way up to a 2-inch NPT. This is a 2-inch NPT, which I have no way to use that. This is 1.5 inch NPT, 1-inch NPT, 1/2 inch NPT. And I've got some custom port tools. And I think this is a little -3. Yeah, that's a -3 port tool. anyhow, and I've set this up so it's got regular drills here, all kinds of drill bits. These are all most of them are taper length. They're longer than normal. There's quite a few drill bits in there. These are metrics, which I don't have that many of, but there's a few metric drills. Standard taps. I've got quite a few standard taps. And metric taps. So that's what that one's about. And then this is more drills I didn't have the heart to get rid of. I've got a parallel set for the milling machine. Some drill chucks for the lathe. More drills. This is a 2-inch drill. Fits in the tailstock of the lathe. All kinds of miscellaneous drills. Some hole saws, whatnot. And there's a tapping head down there, and there's a 5C collet for the lathe. And I've got some broaches down there, which I haven't used for a while. And then of course there's the press. But anyhow, that's the tool boxes. I also have some of these. There's some miscellaneous taps, little extended pipe taps. Some tree pan tools. Empty. More junk. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever use this stuff again, but it's here. And there's more miscellaneous drills. I did a lot of drilling in my business. And there's port tools. That's a -16. And number 2 plug. Some plug cutters. There's quite a bit of stuff there. And of course an assortment of die grinders. I did a lot of deburring and whatnot. So anyhow, that's about it for the toolbox tour. Hopefully I can get some good footage out of this, and like I said, please don't judge. I'm a retired machinist and don't do this stuff for a living anymore. Oh, and I was going to show you this here. Let me get this down. This was a college project I did in college. I graduated college in 1982, I believe. 83, I guess, is when I started working. But anyhow, yeah, this is a hydraulic jack. Made all the pieces in college. It's awful dirty, so don't mind. Yeah, it's got the screw top on it. Yeah, this was a college project that I finished and just hung on to. You tend to hang on to these things. It's really dirty. I'm sorry about the dirt. Should have cleaned it up before I showed it to you, but it is what it is. It's kind of a shop decoration at this point. But I'm pretty proud of it. So anyhow, that's what that is. I almost forgot to show it to you. Anyway, thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.